I always repeat this. Know your numbers. Without knowing your numbers, you can't understand eBay as a whole and your account, individual account. When you don't understand it, your eBay business is based on randomness, and that's not a good thing. Let's learn how to read eBay signals and where to find them. Hello and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Polish Pete, eBay reseller based in UK. I buy cheap ladies clothing in bulk and I sell them individually on eBay for profit. I'm also an unpaid carer for an elderly and disabled person who lives abroad. Guys, I always try to tell you to know your numbers. It's crucial. Without knowing and understanding your numbers, you will run your eBay account and your eBay business based on randomness. And if you want to improve something, you need to know what you want to improve, how to improve it, and what kind of results you want to achieve. And it is impossible to do without understanding the signals that eBay throws at you. You don't want to do things willy-nilly. You need to know where to find those signals and how to interpret those signals. And this is what we are going to learn today, hopefully, taking into consideration my poor teaching skills. Keep in mind that we are talking about situation when you haven't done any drastic changes on your account. Yeah? If you list more or less the same amount of items, if you list more or less the same kind of items, then this is the situation that I'm talking about. If you, for example, run like 50% markdown sale, then don't be surprised that this markdown sale will kind of have an impact on your numbers, because this is why you are doing it. But then you can't interpret those numbers the same way as you would without running that 50% markdown sale. Yeah, we are talking about situation where nothing drastic has been done, nothing that can skew those numbers one way or another. I hope that makes sense. But before we start, I would like to ask you to do me a favor. I've spent a couple of hours preparing the script for this video, recording it and uploading it to the YouTube. Please give me something back. I don't want your money. I don't want your Patreon. I don't want you to buy me a coffee, join my Facebook group, whatever, anything like that. What I would like to ask you for is, after finishing watching this video, just click that like button and maybe make a comment. Just write "Hi Pete" and that's it. 10-20 seconds and you're done. And yeah, that will greatly help this video to reach a wider audience. Okay, and I solely rely on your help in this matter because I can't do it myself. So thank you in advance for that, and let's jump to today's subject. Guys, there are some very important numbers on eBay that you need to check on a regular basis and understand what you are looking at, in fact. Especially when there is something wrong going on your account and you can't really understand what it is. Those numbers can actually help you to understand what is going on, and what's more important, you will be able to figure it out what you need to do to counteract that bad things that are happening. And no, there is no magic bullet that works every time without a fail. If you listen to people who say the same thing every time, just carry on listing, please stop. They don't understand eBay at all. Carry on listing is not a panacea for all illnesses. It may help in some cases, but there will be instances where carry on listing will only make things worse, because flu medicine will not help you with a broken leg. Guys, so do not apply the same medicine for all illnesses. So first thing that we are going to talk about is this graph here, showing your sales for last 31 days excuse me, in comparison to previous 31 days. Basically, in my opinion, the smoother the graph is, the better. Obviously, it will never be flat because there is always some fluctuation in sales. But what you don't want to see really is those massive hills and then deep valleys. When something strange is going on, when something unexpected is going on, eBay always thinks that something goes wrong and hits the brake with your traffic just to observe what is going to happen, because they would rather stop your traffic that have like customers that are unhappy, and you obviously don't want this situation. What you want is this number to be in green, because that means your sales are growing. But you need to find that sweet spot. For me, that sweet spot is about 20 to 30%. As soon as I go higher than 30% to that 35-40 territory, I know eBay will hit brakes anytime soon. And I know they throttle sales because I've done my extensive test, and that test gave me some sort of evidence. And because I know they are throttling sales, and I know now why they are throttling sales, because my sales are going up too high, I don't panic when it happens. As you can see on the right side of this graph, it has happened. After those 2 days of decent sales, eBay has hit brakes and boom, sales went down for 2 days. And in fact, it was 3 days because I've done this screenshot, I prepared that screenshot in advance when I was recording this video. And yeah, there was a third day as well that was so low. Anyway, but I wasn't panic because I knew why it is happening. And in fact, I know that the same time next month, I will have the same problem, as the right side of the graph will be on the left side and causing exactly the same situation. So at least I can try to do something to avoid it somehow. Yeah, I still don't know what, but at least I can try. On the other hand, when I see this number going down to like 10-15%, I know something is wrong. eBay keeps its foot on the pedal and it's not releasing it for some reason, and I know I have to figure out the reason and fix it, because obviously you want to keep your finger on the pulse and try to avoid a situation like that. But when it happens, you need to act, because eBay will not kind of change its mind on its own, because it doesn't have a mind. Yeah? So you, first of all, you want to avoid this kind of situation, so eBay doesn't push that pedal to the floor, and when it pushes that pedal to the floor, you want to eBay to release it as quickly as possible. How to find this sweet spot? I don't know. You have to do it yourself. You have to figure it out yourself. For me, like I've said, it's that 25-30%. For you, it may be 10, it may be 30, it may be 50. I don't know. We are all different. We sell different stock on different accounts in different ways to different people. So yeah, you have to figure it out yourself. Just observe and see what happens. Now, this graph is actually an outcome of your actions. Yeah, it's your final price. You need to look at other numbers to understand what is going on and what may happen tomorrow, next week, next month. Basically, if you see that your sales have stopped growing up, it's already kind of too late, if that makes sense. And that brings us to the traffic tab. Now guys, we've got 4 numbers here, and I can't go through every single variation of those numbers to give you kind of a cheat sheet, because it's just too many different variations. I want you to understand it so you can analyze yourself, your own numbers, and draw conclusions on your own. So I will show you an example of mine, and hopefully you're gonna understand it and you're gonna look for those signals that eBay sends you on your account. So we've got this one number here on the sales graph, that your sales are going up or going down, and we've got those 4 numbers here, and all those 5 numbers are interconnected, and one is the outcome of the other, and vice versa. Yeah. Obviously, your ideal situation is where all those numbers are green. This is what eBay wants from you. Yeah. This is what you want from your account, and you want from your actions. Now, the ideal situation is when the growth in sales is higher than growth on views, and the growth on views is higher than the growth on impressions. I hope that makes sense. It means that you are doing something good in every single aspect. eBay gives you impressions, you squeeze more views out of them that you used to, and then you squeeze more sales out of those views that you used to. Yeah, kind of like steps when every step is higher than the previous one. Yeah. So as an example, say your impressions are up by 10%, your views are up by 20%, and your sales are up by 30%. That's the ideal situation, if that makes sense. If it happens to you, if you can see that on your graph, don't do much except of what you were doing recently. Yeah, because this what you are doing is correct thing. Yeah, don't change anything. Do what you were doing last week, last 2 weeks, last 3 weeks. Yeah, just carry on because it works. If you've got a big growth on impressions, but your views and your sales are not keeping up with it, say 30% more impressions but only 10% views and sales, this is clear signal that eBay gives you shitty impressions, empty impressions. Most likely your click-through ratio will take a hit because of that. Yeah, and you don't want it, because after some time eBay will come to conclusion that they are wasting their traffic on your account. Yeah, they show your listings to people but nobody clicks on them, and as soon as that's the case, you are in trouble because traffic will nosedive. Yeah, and then when impressions will nosedive, most likely views will nosedive, and when views will nosedive, sales will nosedive. Right? Now there are 2 explanations here. Either your listings are going down in search results, you still have visibility, but your listings are low enough for customers not to have a look on them, not to click in them. Yeah. Or the second possible situation is there is large number of impressions coming from promoted listings, and we know that promoted listings tend to have more empty impressions, and this you can easily check by going deeper, and this is what you can see on my account. Can you see what the problem is? It's not that my listings are going down in search, it's the promoted listing problem. Promoted impressions are growing way much faster than organic impressions. And even though they are both in green, it's a problem because promoted impressions are most likely empty, so my click-through ratio suffers. And I need to address it. If it was the other way around, large growth on organic impressions and click-through ratio still going down, that would mean that organic impressions are shitty, meaning listings are going down in search results. I get impressions, but too low. I get them too low for customers to go and have a look at them. Yeah. Then when I go into my sales, it's even more clear. My overall sales are up by about 30%, but organic sales are up only by 15%, and promoted sales are up by 120%. So what is going on here? eBay is swapping my organic sales into promoted sales. I'm paying more for the same. Yeah, do you understand why I came up with this conclusion? I hiked up promoted listings, and eBay is showing more promoted than organic, and because of that I'm getting more sales out of promoted than out of organic, because halo effect kicks in. Guys, you need to understand how to interpret those numbers, and you need to spend 10, 15, 20 minutes every morning just staring at those numbers, trying to understand what is going on. So what's the solution for me right now? I need to go and throttle down my promoted listings, but I don't want to go there and switch them off, because you want slow changes, not sudden changes, nothing drastic that can spook the algorithm. When you list, so what can I do? When I list something new, I don't need to add it right away to promoted listings. I can give it some time. When I end in sell similar, I can do the same. I can go to one of my campaigns and drop the promotion fee. Say from, instead of promoting at 5%, I can go down to 4.8, or I can go to my another campaign and pause it, and I can go to another campaign and again drop it a little bit. So consider not having one campaign and all the listings in one campaign. If you got plenty of campaigns, 5, 6, 7, 8, you can change one of them, avoiding doing massive change. You can go and change drop one campaign a bit today, one campaign a bit tomorrow, one campaign a bit day after tomorrow, and so on, and so on, and so on. Now let's talk about for a minute about that click-through ratio. Again, you want it to be in green, but only a little bit, tiny little bit in green. You don't want to balloon it quickly. Guys, what goes up must go down eventually. Yeah? And it will go down eventually. When you hit that saturation point where no matter what you do, it just doesn't help. Yeah? And then most likely it will hit the ceiling and start falling down. And you would rather have like 3 months of slowly going up than a week of massive growth followed by 3 months of going down. Because in my opinion, eBay always wants you to be green, because if you are green, it means that you are improving, and it doesn't really care if you are improving just a little bit or massively. It wants you to improve. That's my opinion, that's what I feel, that's my conclusion that I came up with. And when you improve a lot and you improve super quickly, then it may be also suspicious. So carry on, slow but steady wins the race. Yeah? So when your click-through ratio is in red, you need to investigate. You can't just leave it like that, thinking, tomorrow it will go green. Yeah, it may go green tomorrow, but it may not. And if it won't go green tomorrow, day after tomorrow, 3 days later, 5 days later, a week later, 2 weeks later, then you are in trouble. Then you are in trouble. I had it after I stopped nuclear reset, and I was struggling for literally 3 months before I bounced back up. So, like I've said, when your click-through ratio is going down, is going into red, you need to investigate. If you have a surge in organic impressions, but click-through ratio is going down, that must be poor placement. Make a sale, placement will improve. With every sale you make, you will have better and better and better placement. Now, when you don't really know what is going on, go to your traffic tab. Scroll down in your traffic tab and start looking at your listings. Find listings with decently high number of impressions but very low number of views, and ask yourself, why is that so? What's wrong with this listing that despite eBay showing it to people, they are not clicking into it? What puts people off of clicking into it? Maybe the title is bad. Maybe the main photo is not appealing at all. Find the problem and fix it. Go find another listing like that, find the problem, fix it. Find another listing, find the problem, fix it. Slowly but steady, do it and do it one and another and another and another and another, and you will see situation slowly improving. Now let's talk about conversion rate. Again, same story. You want that to be in green. Green is your color. But you want that again to be slightly in green. Because again, what goes up must go down. Better 3 months of slow growth than 1 week of sky high and 3 months of falling. Yeah? As you can see, I'm on 0.2 percentage point up. I would rather be at that 0.1, 0.2 up for 3 months than 1, 2, 3, 5% up for a short period of time and then nosedive. Yeah? You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? So, what to do when conversion rate is going down? Again, you need to investigate. Go to that traffic tab again. Have a look and try to find items like this. Okay? Massive number of impressions, a lot of views, but the listing hasn't sold. Why? Why? Ask yourself a question, find what the problem is, fix it. Now, for this listing that I'm showing you, I exactly know what is the problem. There is a stain. Yeah, there is a stain, and people go, they like the item, they go into the item, but they see the stain and say, no, forget it. So what does that tell me? Maybe it's time to start washing my items and stop listing those items with stains, with marks, with stuff like that. That's my conclusion, because that's not the first time that I can see it. It's always the same problem. When I've got a lot of impressions, a lot of views and no sales, most likely it's the item with a stain. So, what you can also do, and it's way much faster method, is go to your active listings and sort them by views. And what you've got right now is all the listings with a lot of views but still unsold. And then again, you have to start asking questions. Why this one is not sold? Why this one hasn't sold? Why this one hasn't sold? Going into each and every single one of them, looking at it, trying to figure it out what the hell the problem is and fix it. And then you can sort it the other way around and have a look at listings that have been online for a decent amount of time but didn't get any views or get 1, 2, 3 views. Yeah? Again, ask yourself what's wrong with them and slowly but steady eliminate the problems one after another. Don't go and list another 100 items. Fix the items that you already have. Because if you go and list 100 new items, maybe all of them will end up like that. Guys, too many people look at their account from the top. Yeah? Oh, I have no sales. eBay is broken. Guys, you need to understand it and you need to go deep and deeper to find the problem and fix it. It's not eBay. It's you, your account and your listings. Don't look at big picture. It makes no sense. Identify the problems and sort them out one after another. When you sort out enough individual problems, you will start to see systemic problems. Because if you go to one listing and it has a problem, then you go to another listing, it has the same problem. You go to another listing and it has the same problem. Then finally it hits you like a ton of bricks and you say to yourself, hey, when I'm listing items, I keep making this error because this problem pops up on many listings. And then When you know this is the systemic problem, you fix the systemic problem, you make a change in the way that you list your items, and then you eliminate that problem whatsoever once and for all. Yeah, once and for all. So guys, I kind of lack of words. I'm lacking the words to express what I mean. So I came up with this kind of little bit stupid parable or whatever you want to call it. Those four numbers, they are like a football team. That is soccer for American viewers, and it's not soccer, it's football. So when your team has got the ball and you are passing that ball from one player to the other player and back to the first one and again to another player, it's kind of impossible for your opponent to score the goal against you. Because you've got the ball, and for them to score the goal against you, they have to get the ball in the first place. And it's the same with those numbers. When all those numbers are in green, you are safe. Nobody is going to score the goal against you because you've got the ball. But when one of those numbers go red, you've just lost the ball. And you have to get it back as soon as you can, because you may lose a goal. Yeah? They may score against you. And when they score against you, one goal, another, and it's 3-0, and you're going down like a lead balloon. Yeah? And sometimes when those numbers start to go in red, and all of them suddenly go in red, sometimes it is impossible to stop. And you will have to wait for a long time before you bounce back. It happened to me after I stopped the nuclear reset. Numbers went down and I couldn't turn the table around. No matter what I did, nothing seemed to work. And I had to literally wait 90 days before that reset has been forgotten by eBay. After 90-day period, that reset went out of 90-day period, and then, only then, I started to go up. Yeah, I bounced back and started going up. In most cases, when one number changes, the other one changes as well. When all go up, that's great. But when one falls down, most likely the answer is in another number. Yeah? And you need to be able to identify that answer. This number gone down, you need to look at the other numbers and see what has caused that number to go down. Because most likely the answer will be, or general answer will be, in those three numbers, and then you will have to investigate further. Yeah? So then you can know what is going on. My click-through ratio going down? Yes, obviously, because my impressions went up. My impressions went up significantly, and views are not keeping up. My click-through ratio gone down. What is it? Why it has happened? And we have seen why it has happened. Too many promoted listing impressions. Yeah. Additionally, you want to also look at some more numbers, especially when something goes wrong. You can see a sudden drop in impressions, sudden drop in sales, something like that. Yeah. You have to look at your seller tab, especially those defects. Monitor them every morning, so you've got as quick heads up as possible. When you see a new defect, you know that you are in trouble. You've got a new defect. It may cause a shit happen. Yeah. Avoid defects at all costs, because when one happens, there is not much you can do, because it already has happened, and you will see the drop in traffic, or you may see the drop in traffic. You see new defect, most likely drop in traffic is coming. Yeah? Drop in views, drop in sales. At least you will know that's the reason for it, so you will not panic. Oh my God, my impressions are going down, my sales are going. Yeah, you had a defect. Calm down. You had a defect. That's the reason. Yeah? Do something to turn the table. Same applies to returns, especially INATs. Same applies to negative or neutral feedback. You had it, fine. You know what is causing the problems. Now, start looking for answers. Forget about that feedback. Start looking for answers. Start looking for solutions. And in 99% of cases, there is only one solution, really. Yeah? And it's not just carry on listing. No. It's sell some shit. Like I said, there is no one solution for everything. But when you sell shit, good things happen. So if you don't know what to do, if you don't know how to solve the problem, go and sell some shit. Because you can't go wrong with selling stuff. I'll give you an example, and I'm not trying to be misogynistic here. All you beautiful, wonderful ladies, please forgive me, but I'm just a stupid immigrant, and this was the best example that came up to my mind, right? eBay is like that girl with like a princess attitude from the day one. Yeah, we all know them. If you are a man or a boy or whatever, whoever, you had to deal with one of this kind of girl in your life. Maybe you are still dealing with one. If that's the case, I feel sorry for you, man. You know this kind of girls. Yeah, you don't open the door in front of her quick enough, she kicks up the fuss. Yeah, you do this, you do that, she kicks up the fuss. And eBay is the same. When you do something wrong, it kicks up the fuss. But say to eBay, hey, you look beautiful today, and you're gonna get smile. The same way as this girl. She kicks up the fuss, but you say to her, you look beautiful today, and you get a smile. So go get that smile from eBay. And for God's sake, don't fart in front of this girl. Yeah? Because she will definitely kick up the fuss. So don't go and get a defect on eBay, because that's like a fart in front of this girl. Yeah? Don't get into trouble on eBay. And when you do get into trouble, go and make a sale. Go and make that compliment to eBay. You look beautiful today, eBay. That's a sale I'm going to do. And that's the sale I'm getting. Right? And you are going to get that smile. And eBay will forget about you drop the ball. Because you are making sales. Go send some offers. Put that sacrifice lamp on the altar. Yeah? Accept a decent offer when it comes to you. Go set up a coupon. Go set up markdown sale. And then sell similar some listings. Go and revise some listings. Do something that will make that sale happen. eBay is very easy to please. Just like this girl. You tell her you look beautiful today. And she will give you a smile. Yeah? eBay, the easiest way to please eBay is closing down that sale. Listing more items may help you. It may help you. But only on one condition. You list them and you sell them. You sell what you list. And it's not easy to improve your numbers by adding more and more and more and more items. Because you are watering down the outcome. If you add 100 items, 100 new items, and you sell 2 of them only, in most cases you will not improve your numbers at all. In most cases you will make them worse. Because by listing those 100 new items, you are going to get a shitloads of impressions. And if you won't convert that shitloads of impressions into views and then into sales, you are literally making shit worse. So go and get that smile from eBay. But before you do so, there is one more thing that you need to do. Subscribe to this channel and go and watch some older videos. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this video interesting. If you have, please don't forget about clicking that like button on your way out. Please leave some comment. It can only be high-pitched. I don't mind. Whatever you want to say, you write one word, you write one letter, I don't care. But write something. Yeah? If you wish to support the channel further, please consider subscribing if you haven't done so yet. Have a great week. I'll see you next time. God bless you all and bye-bye.